I'm Zoe with the Calcasieu Parish Public Library, and today we'll be doing acrylic pouring. Acrylic pouring has gotten really popular over the past few years, and it literally consists of pouring paint over your canvas and gently guiding its flow. I love it, and if you'd like to do it with me today, you're going to need a canvas or a canvas board, some sort of acrylic paint. You're going to want a PVA glue, which is those white school glues, and you're going to need some disposable stirring utensils as well as some disposable cups. I've set up my workspace outside today because this is going to get a little bit messy. I've got all my materials ready, so let's get started. I've picked a couple of colors that I want my piece today to include. You can choose any colors that you like, but just keep it to 3 or 4 for your first time. And be mindful of how those colors might interact. The amount of paint that you'll need will vary depending on your canvas size, so just go with your best guess. Now I'm going to take my school glue. Professional artists will use something called a pouring medium, which basically allows the paint to flow more freely, thin it out without diluting it too much. For our budget-friendly version today, school glue works surprisingly well. So I'm going to pour that glue into my paint colors and mix them all up. I'm aiming for equal parts glue and paint. I have a cheap acrylic paint today, and they're already pretty fluid, but if you mix it up and it still seems too thick, you can add a little splash of water to thin it out. And I'm just going to do this for every single one of my colors. Once all my paint is mixed, it's ready to be applied to my canvas. You'll notice that my canvas is a little bit elevated so that the paint has room to run off the edges. There are several methods of applying your paint in acrylic pouring, and I'd encourage you to look into the other methods and materials if you enjoy this today. But right now, I'm just going to randomly pour my colors onto the canvas. In the end, I want the majority of the canvas to be covered. Next step is to pick up the canvas and start tilting it around. I want the paint to move around and cover all of the visible canvas. The design is also going to change unpredictably. Lots of the paint will fall off the edges, so your fingers will definitely be covered in paint. You'll notice that I sped up this video because my paint was moving really slow, but just be patient with it, watch the design change, and when your canvas is covered and you're happy with the design, you can gently set it back down. This is what my finished acrylic pouring looks like. You can see there's no more canvas showing through, and I really like the way that this turned out, so I'm going to gently set it back down. I'm also going to wipe off the edges because there's some paint drips hanging off of it, and I'd like the edges to be clean. This is going to take hours to dry because it's a very thick layer of paint, so I'm going to take it inside and put it somewhere safe so it can just hang out, and we're all done. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check back every week for more from Calcasieu Parish Public Library.